Bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Highway.
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about, it's time to think about trading Jonathan Mingo. All right, so Cowboys OTAs are underway, and we're still, analyzing the roster, and I think we keep coming back to, the need for another one tech. So this is serious. Boom. All right. Also, you're looking at this roster. The Cowboys just acquired George Pickens. So the pecking order, kind of looks like Lamb, Pickens, Tolbert. All right, those are your three, and then Mingo, I guess, is your fourth, and then you have other guys battling for that fourth. I mean, Turpin honestly is a better option than Mingo at this point. So no, never mind. Turpin is your wide receiver 4. Okay, wide receiver 5, I think, is where you can have competition. So to me, Jonathan Mingo is the odd man out at this point, man. This was a very stupid trade to start with. All right, I think we can all agree with that. Cowboys, they say they're not done yet, and they shouldn't be. They should be looking for another defensive tackle, the one tech side especially, right? So, we drafted some players, but they're late round guys. I think there's a lot of hope and wishing there. They could end up being something for us. Who knows? But I think you need to get in here and get somebody who has some decent action, some decent plays, starter reps under his belt. So Jonathan Mingo has now become a hot potato. I don't want him. I don't want him. Let's trade him. So it's time, dude. Cowboys have been known to do player for player trades, especially once we get to camp. They've done this before. They did it with Ryan Switzer for Jihad Ward. They've traded other players, player for player for trades. Just thinking about all of the years that the Cowboys have made these, and they've always been, leading up to camp, during camp, and I think that the Cowboys need to consider this one here. Jonathan Mingo could be a receiver that somebody needs. So, scouring the rosters, as far as like one techs, that might be available in a player for player swap, and I don't know if Mingo will even be enough. You might have to even throw in like a 5th or 6th round pick on top of Mingo. But if you can pull a player for player, that would be good. So a couple of defensive tackles I think that you could take a look at. One would be the Bears defensive tackle, Gervon Dexter, former Florida State monster, one tech kind of guy. And obviously there's some familiarity there as well with Coach Eberflus. So if you can get him in here with a player for player trade, that would be awesome. He's one I would consider. Another one from the Colts, Grover Stewart, another player that the Eberflus is familiar with as well. So Grover Stewart, defensive tackle, one tech kind of guy, a little bit older, a little bit longer in the tooth, but still productive, can get it done, and it's just what you need to help your run defense, and somebody that would automatically be, at the top of the list, front runner for your one tech starter. DJ Reader is another one. This one has been rumored here for a while, and looking through the rosters, like I said, he is one that I'm looking at. DJ Reader is available. They have Tyleik Williams behind him, so he's a guy who's probably going to eventually take over that spot. So they might as well get something for DJ Reader. So make that trade there. And another one, Greg Gaines, a little bit under the radar trade for me, would be from Tampa Bay. I like Greg Gaines coming out of Washington, college. And I think that he's a really good rotational defensive tackle. I've always liked his game. I think he plays really well, whistle to whistle. Greg Gaines, he was originally drafted by the Rams, and then he got picked up here by the Bucks. but he's also, obviously playing behind Vita Vea. So that would be one that I would love to get from the Bucs. So any of these 4 defensive tackles, try to make a player for player trade. But point is, it's time to trade Jonathan Mingo. Guys, let me know what you think. Who would you trade Jonathan Mingo for? Do you want to get rid of him? Honestly, I just don't see a spot for him on this roster right now. He's not going to crack any, for top, snaps on this team. So let me know what you guys think. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. Peace.
Yeah, old school, baby.